Hello and welcome to the channel. As the 2023 elections draws near, Nigerians are increasingly worried over threats to the poll despite assurances. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Insecurity. Nigerians worried over threats to 2023 polls despite assurances. Despite assurances from President Muhammadu Buhari and the service chiefs that there is no cause for alarm over security threats to the 2023 elections, Nigerians are still worried about the spate of insecurity in the country. This is heightened by the recent error alerts from some foreign missions and high commissions warning its citizens not to travel to Abuja and 8 other states in the north. Yesterday, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) disclosed that 242 polling units with 142,261 registered voters in 10 councils of Katsina State were under serious security threats. The Commission's head of Department of Electoral Operations in the state, Hussaini Jafar, who revealed this at a stakeholders meeting in Katsina, said the polling units may be affected in the forthcoming general elections. He said, "We have 242 polling units in 10 security-prone councils of Katsina with 142,261 registered voters. Before, there were 13 councils that were under security threat. In an attempt to ensure that all elections are held in all polling units of the state, every month we sit with all the electoral officers of the councils after they have consulted with security officers and critical stakeholders in their respective local governments to discuss the prevailing situation. As we keep on reviewing the situation based on the reports we've received from the electoral officers, currently, we have only 10 councils that we now confirm have security challenges that we cannot hold elections there. All the same, nobody can say what will happen in these councils tomorrow, and despite the fact that we have this problem, INEC is still working within the electoral law to come up with another plan that will enable all eligible voters to vote." He said the Commission has directed all electoral officers of the affected councils to liaise with security agencies, traditional and religious leaders to propose a safer place that would enable INEC to relocate the affected voters so that they can cast their vote. The recent security alert is not unsettling only Abuja residents, as over a dozen states have now been added to the no-travel zone following a renewed alert by the United Kingdom High Commission on Monday. The development has triggered fear that the 2023 general elections may not hold. Members of the intelligence and security community in the country have also expressed fear that current security indices are not promising free and fair election. Lawmakers at the National Assembly have not bothered to cut short their recess in the wake of security challenges. Several calls put to some of the lawmakers yielded no result as they refused to comment on the matter. A lawmaker who insisted that his name should not be mentioned stated that though there have been several security reports of threats to the elections, such plans wouldn't stop the general elections, assuring that democracy has come to stay. Recall that days after the release of error alerts in Abuja, lawmakers are tightening security around the National Assembly complex. Also, following the recent error alert issued by foreign governments, security personnel at the National Assembly complex last week commenced thorough search of all vehicles coming into the compound. There was no exception to the search as representatives of ministries, departments and agencies of the federal government who came for the 2023 budget estimates defense were checked by security agents strategically positioned within and around the complex. The NAS Security Management Committee in a memo stated that the stop and search exercise was to prevent the complex from being a vulnerable target for insurgents. The memo signed by Director Administration Dr. Tahir Sani read in part, one of such measures is the directive to security agencies and the Sergeant at Arms Department to ensure that effective October 31st, all vehicles coming into the National Assembly premises are thoroughly searched. This entails that the drivers of the vehicles shall by themselves open the boots of their cars and submit their vehicles to comprehensive checks. Honorable members and distinguished senators are by this notice advised to use the presidential gate unless they are willing to submit themselves to this stop and search policy. While regretting the inconvenience that this policy may cause to our visitors, staff, it is important to state that this measure is due to the exigent demands of our security challenges. According to a former director of the Department of State Services (DSS), Dennis Amatri, the campaigns are in full gear, but the security indices are not promising a free and fair elections. This is the greatest opportunity for the security and law enforcement agents to rescue Nigeria and secure our democracy. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Anything less than free and fair playing field for all political actors can scuttle the election process. On the part of politicians, it is also the greatest opportunity to be patriotic and demonstrate their statesmanship. President of an umbrella body, Good Governance Initiative, Nonsike Nwanko, expressed reservations over the security alert, which is said to be a threat to the polls. According to Nwanko, Nigerians have every reason to be apprehensive. The government must rise up to the occasion by ending all forms of insecurity now before the conduct of the elections. Nwanko further put the president to task, urging him to use resources at his disposal to stem the tide of insecurity and rebuild confidence in the electorate as the nation draws closer to another round of elections. A criminologist, Albert Uber, said the UK and the US error alert was based on intelligence of an imminent attack by terrorists. It is doubtful whether it has any connection with the 2023 elections. Cannot stop the conduct of election in all the states of the Federation because most of the attacks would be guerrilla. What government needs to do now is to galvanize all known security apparatus, including the military, in preparation for the elections. Rest have no wherewithal to scuttle a general election. They may only cause hiccups in some states. This is why the menace of bandits, terrorists, and Boko Haram insurgents should not be treated with kid gloves. The government must muster the political will to be decisive in liquidating them. That's the news, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, bye.